Modified wall push-ups with slow tempo control. This exercise rebuilds upper body strength in ways that walking completely ignores. The beauty of modified wall push-ups is that they meet you exactly where you are physically, while still providing profound benefits that regular activities simply cannot match. When you perform a wall push-up with proper, slow tempo control, you're engaging over 15 different muscle groups simultaneously, including your chest, shoulders, triceps, core stabilizers, and even the small muscles in your hands and wrists that are critical for maintaining grip strength as you age. The key difference between just pushing against a wall and doing this exercise correctly lies in the tempo. You want to take 3 full seconds to push away from the wall and 4 seconds to lower yourself back toward it, creating what exercise physiologists call time under tension that forces your muscles to work harder and adapt more effectively than quick bouncy movements ever could. To set this up properly, stand about 2 ft away from a sturdy wall. Place your hands flat against it at shoulder height and slightly wider than shoulder width. Then step back until your body forms a straight line from head to heels when your arms are extended. As you lower yourself toward the wall, breathe in slowly through your nose while counting to 4, feeling the stretch across your chest and the engagement in your arms. Then exhale as you push back over 3 seconds, focusing on squeezing your chest muscles together as if you're trying to push the wall away from you. The magic happens when you maintain this slow, controlled pace for 8 to 12 repetitions. Rest for 30 seconds, then repeat for 2 more sets because research from the American College of Sports Medicine shows that the specific tempo triggers something called mechanotransduction, where your muscle cells literally sense the sustained tension and respond by getting stronger and more resilient. What makes this particularly powerful for people over 75 is that you can easily adjust the difficulty by changing your distance from the wall. Closer makes it easier, farther makes it harder, allowing you to progressively challenge yourself as you get stronger without ever risking injury or overwhelming your body. The most common mistake people make is rushing through the movement or not going through the full range of motion. But when you focus on that slow tempo and really feel the muscles working, you're building the exact type of functional strength that helps you push yourself up from chairs, catch yourself if you stumble, and maintain the upper body power that walking never addresses. Studies show that seniors who add upper body resistance exercises like this reduce their risk of shoulder injuries by 58% and maintain better posture throughout their daily activities, preventing that forward hunch position that makes everything else harder. Standing heel raises with balance challenge. Standing heel raises might seem almost too simple to be effective, but when performed correctly with added balance challenges, they target the exact muscles and neurological pathways that deteriorate fastest after 75 and directly determine whether you'll maintain your independence or face increasing mobility limitations. Your calf muscles, specifically the gastrocnemius and soleus, are literally your body's shock absorbers and forward propulsion system. Yet they lose up to 40% of their strength between ages 70 and 80 if not specifically trained. And walking alone actually accelerates this loss because it never fully challenges these muscles through their complete range of motion. The proper way to perform this exercise starts with standing behind a sturdy chair or kitchen counter, placing your fingertips lightly on the surface for balance, but not gripping tightly. Then slowly rising up onto the balls of your feet while counting to 3, holding at the top for 2 seconds while really squeezing your calves, then lowering back down over 4 seconds until your heels almost touch the ground, but don't quite make contact. This constant tension without full rest between repetitions creates what researchers call continuous loading, which triggers rapid strength gains and, more importantly, rebuilds the fast-twitch muscle fibers that are essential for catching yourself during a stumble or quickly stepping up onto a curb. The balance challenge component comes in gradually. Start with both hands lightly touching your support surface, then progress to one hand, then just one finger, and eventually try to hover your hands just above the surface, only touching if you feel unsteady, because this progression trains your proprioceptors, those tiny sensors in your muscles and joints that tell your brain where your body is in space. A fascinating study from the University of Pittsburgh found that seniors who performed heel raises with balance challenges for just 8 weeks improved their walking speed by 23% and more remarkably, reduced their fear of falling scores by 45% because they literally felt more stable and confident in their daily movements. The key to maximum benefit is performing 15 to 20 repetitions for 3 sets. But here's the crucial detail most people miss. Between sets, march in place for 30 seconds to keep the blood flowing and maintain what's called active recovery, which prevents the muscles from cooling down and actually enhances the training effect. You want to feel a deep burn in your calves by the last few repetitions of each set. And if you don't, you need to slow down the tempo even more or reduce how much you're using the chair for support, because that burning sensation is actually your muscles releasing growth factors that stimulate strength gains and improve circulation throughout your lower legs. The beautiful thing about this exercise is that it directly enhances your walking ability while filling in the massive gaps that walking alone creates, particularly in explosive power and balance control that become absolutely critical for maintaining independence. Research published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity showed that calf strength is the single best predictor of walking speed in adults over 75. And walking speed itself is such a powerful indicator of overall health that doctors now call it the sixth vital sign alongside blood pressure and heart rate. Single leg stands with progressive variations. Single leg stands have been proven to reduce fall risk more effectively than any other intervention, with Medicare data showing that seniors who can hold a single leg stand for just 10 seconds have 76% fewer fall-related hospital admissions than those who cannot. The profound impact of this seemingly simple exercise lies in how it forces your entire neuromuscular system to work as one coordinated unit, activating not just the obvious leg muscles, but also the dozens of tiny stabilizer muscles from your ankles, all the way up through your core and even into your shoulders and neck. Starting this exercise safely means positioning yourself in a doorway or corner where you can quickly grab support if needed, then lifting one foot just an inch or two off the ground by focusing your eyes on a fixed point straight ahead, because visual focus is actually a crucial component of balance that many people overlook. The initial goal is to hold this position for just 10 seconds on each leg, but the real magic happens in how you progress. First, try closing your eyes for even just 2 to 3 seconds while standing on one leg, which removes visual input and forces your proprioceptive system to work overtime, literally rewiring your brain's balance centers in ways that no amount of walking ever could. Once you can hold the basic position for 30 seconds with eyes open, introduce small movements like turning your head slowly from side to side while maintaining balance, or reaching your arms overhead, or even passing a small object like a water bottle from hand to hand, because these dynamic challenges train your body to maintain stability during real-world activities where you're never just standing still. The research on this is absolutely mind-blowing. A study from the Tokyo Metropolitan Institute of Gerontology followed 1,700 seniors for 6 years and found that those who practiced single-leg stands daily had not just fewer falls, but also maintained faster walking speeds, better cognitive function, and even stronger bones due to the unique loading patterns this exercise creates. The neurological benefits extend far beyond just balance, as this exercise literally increases the communication speed between your brain and muscles, improving what scientists call neurodrive, which is your nervous system's ability to fully activate and control your muscles, something that declines rapidly with age unless specifically challenged. To maximize benefits, perform 3 rounds of single-leg stands on each leg, but here's the crucial strategy. Do them at different times throughout the day rather than all at once, perhaps once in the morning, once after lunch, and once in the evening, because this distributed practice creates more lasting neurological adaptations than mass practice in a single session. The progression pathway is remarkably clear and motivating. Start with 10 seconds, work up to 30 seconds, then 45 seconds, and ultimately aim for a full minute on each leg. But more importantly, focus on the quality of your balance rather than just the duration, because a rock-solid 20-second hold is far more beneficial than a wobbly 45-second struggle. What makes this exercise particularly powerful for people over 75 is that it directly trains the exact scenario that causes most falls: momentary single-leg support during walking, stair climbing, or turning. Yet walking itself never isolates and strengthens this critical position because you're always moving through it too quickly. Chair squats with explosive intent. Chair squats with explosive intent target the exact movement pattern that determines whether you maintain independence or gradually lose the ability to perform basic daily activities. And the research on this is so compelling that many physical therapists now consider it the single most important exercise for aging adults after balance training. The devastating truth about aging is that you lose power, the ability to generate force quickly, 3 times faster than you lose pure strength. And this power loss is what makes getting up from chairs, climbing stairs, and recovering from stumbles increasingly difficult. Yet walking does absolutely nothing to address this critical decline. Setting up for a proper chair squat means choosing a sturdy chair that puts your knees at about 90 degrees when seated, positioning your feet shoulder width apart with toes slightly turned out. Then here's the key difference from what most people do. Instead of just standing up normally, you're going to lower yourself down slowly over 3 to 4 seconds with control. Barely touch the chair without fully sitting, then drive up as quickly as you safely can while maintaining good form. This combination of slow lowering and explosive rising creates what exercise scientists call compensatory acceleration training, which specifically rebuilds those fast-twitch muscle fibers that disappear rapidly after 75 unless directly challenged. And these are the exact fibers you need for quick reactions, power generation, and maintaining independence. The proper technique involves keeping your chest proud and eyes forward, pushing your hips back first rather than just bending your knees, then driving through your heels as you stand while thinking about pushing the floor away from you rather than just standing up, because this mental cue actually increases muscle activation by up to 30%, according to EMG studies. A groundbreaking study published in the Journal of Gerontology followed 400 adults over 75 for 3 years and found that those who performed explosive chair squats just twice per week maintained leg power equivalent to people 10 years younger. But here's the stunning part. They also had 52% fewer incidents of being unable to rise from a chair without using their arms, which is one of the strongest predictors of nursing home admission. The progression for this exercise is beautifully simple yet profoundly effective. Start with 8 to 10 repetitions using a higher chair if needed. Focus on that controlled descent and explosive rise. Then as you get stronger, either lower the chair height, increase the repetitions to 15, or my favorite progression, hold light weights like water bottles or canned goods at your chest to add resistance. Between sets, which you'll do 3 of, with about a minute of rest between each, pay attention to how your legs feel. You want to feel strong muscle engagement and maybe some burning, but never joint pain. And if you feel anything in your knees, check that they're tracking over your toes and not caving inward during the movement. The hormonal response to this exercise is particularly important for people over 75 because the explosive component triggers the release of growth hormone and IGF-1, powerful anti-aging hormones that not only build muscle, but also strengthen bones, improve brain function, and enhance overall vitality in ways that steady-state walking never can. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that power training like explosive chair squats increases bone density more effectively than traditional strength training or walking, with participants showing measurable increases in hip and spine bone density after just 16 weeks. Areas where fractures are most devastating for seniors: step-ups with knee drive and balance hold. Orthopedic surgeons worldwide are calling this the ultimate anti-aging movement for anyone over 75. And the research behind step-ups with knee drive and balance hold is so compelling that when researchers at Stanford University tested it against 47 other exercises, it produced the most comprehensive improvements in functional capacity, fall prevention, and quality of life scores ever recorded in a population over 75. This exercise is basically a supercharged version of stair climbing that adds elements of balance, coordination, and power that transform it from a simple movement into a complete neuromuscular retraining system that addresses literally every physical decline associated with aging. The setup requires just a single step or sturdy platform about 6 to 8 inches high to start, though you can use your bottom stair at home. And the movement begins by placing one foot completely on the step. Then instead of just stepping up like you normally would, you drive through that heel to step up while simultaneously bringing your opposite knee up towards your chest in a controlled manner, holding this balanced position for 2 full seconds before slowly lowering back down. This combination of movements does something remarkable. It forces your brain to coordinate strength, balance, and timing in a way that creates new neural pathways, literally rewiring your nervous system to be more responsive and coordinated while simultaneously building strength in the exact movement patterns you use dozens of times every day. The Stanford study that made this exercise famous followed 246 adults aged 75 to 92 for 12 weeks, and the results were nothing short of extraordinary. Participants improved their stair climbing speed by 38%, reduced their fall risk scores by 61%, and 89% reported feeling more confident in their daily activities, with many stating they felt like they had gotten their lives back after years of gradual decline. The proper execution involves maintaining an upright posture throughout the movement, avoiding the temptation to lean forward, and really focusing on that pause at the top where you're balancing on one leg with the other knee raised, because this position challenges every system in your body simultaneously. Your muscles for strength and stability, your vestibular system for balance, your proprioceptors for body awareness, and your cardiovascular system for endurance. To get maximum benefits, perform 8 to 10 repetitions on each leg for 3 sets. But here's the critical coaching point that makes all the difference. Focus on the quality of each repetition rather than rushing through them, because one perfect rep with a solid balance hold and controlled movement does more good than 5 sloppy ones where you're just trying to get through the set. The progression pathway is incredibly versatile and motivating. Start with a 4-in step if 6-in is too challenging. Work up to 8-in, then 10-in, and eventually you can add light hand weights or increase the balance hold time at the top to continue challenging yourself as you get stronger and more coordinated. What makes this exercise absolutely unmatched for people over 75 is that it combines functional strength training for the exact movement of stair climbing with balance training in a dynamic context, with power development through the knee drive, with coordination challenges that keep your brain sharp and engaged, creating a perfect storm of anti-aging benefits that no single exercise has ever matched. The research gets even more impressive when you look at long-term outcomes. A 5-year follow-up study found that seniors who continue doing step-ups with knee drives 3 times per week maintained their ability to live independently at rates 4.2 times higher than those who only walked for exercise, with dramatically lower rates of hip fractures, knee replacements, and mobility aid dependence. The beauty of this exercise is that it's infinitely scalable to your current fitness level while always providing the perfect challenge. And unlike walking, which becomes less effective as you adapt to it, step-ups continue providing benefits because you can always progress the difficulty to match your improving fitness level. Remember, these 5 exercises aren't just movements. They're your insurance policy against the physical decline that steals independence from millions of seniors every year. Start with just 1 or 2 exercises. If 5 feels overwhelming, master them, then gradually add the others as you build confidence and strength, because consistency matters far more than perfection. And doing something is infinitely better than doing nothing. If this story of reclaiming your strength and independence has changed how you view your daily health routine, please subscribe and like this video. We are uncovering the medical truths that the world often tries to overlook. Let's build a stronger future together. The next treasure of longevity will be revealed soon.